This video explains the 10 Bhumis in Mahayana Buddhism, which are the 10 stages a Bodhisattva undergoes to attain Nirvana. The explanation is based on Candrakīrti's Entering the Middle Way, a text that is highly regarded in Tibetan Buddhism. Through the practice of the Six Paramitas, a practitioner experiences the truth, becomes a Bodhisattva, and joins the ranks of the sages. Afterward, the Bodhisattva progresses through the 10 stages of development, deeply mastering the teachings of each of the 6 Paramitas. As a result, the Bodhisattva's mind is transformed, and they ultimately attain Nirvana. At this point, the first cause of full awakening, the perfection of generosity, will become preeminent. Committed to giving away even his very flesh, giving becomes a sign to infer his unseen qualities. At this stage, the Bodhisattva excels in generosity, the practice of doing good for others. This practice allows them to accumulate unseen merit, filling their mind with great joy. He is endowed with perfect morality and purity. Even in dreams, he shuns the stain of immorality. Since all movements of his body, speech, and mind are pure, he accumulates the excellent virtue of all 10 courses of action. At this stage, the Bodhisattva excels in morality. By living according to the precepts, their actions, speech, and mind are purified, and their afflictions are cleansed. Knowing the faults and benefits of anger and forbearance, respectively, of ordinary beings and bodhisattvas, shun intolerance, and cultivate swiftly and constantly the forbearance praised by the Aryas. At this stage, the Bodhisattva excels in patience by enduring harm from others. By persevering, they connect with the truth deep within their heart, giving rise to the light of wisdom. By restraining anger, they stop sowing the seeds of their own suffering. All higher qualities follow after diligence. It is the cause of merit and wisdom, the 2 collections. Where diligence comes to be set ablaze, that ground is the 4th, the radiant. At this stage, the Bodhisattva excels in diligence, which is the practice of persistent effort. As they strive to do good, they accumulate invisible positive karma. This effort also clears away the clouds over their minds, allowing the light of wisdom in the depths of their heart to shine with even greater brilliance. This great one, on the ground of hard to conquer, cannot be defeated even by the entire host of Maras. Excelling in meditative absorption and in the truths of the wise, he gains mastery in refined understanding as well. At this stage, the Bodhisattva excels in meditative concentration by freeing their mind from attachment and focusing it. They grasp the core teaching of the Buddha, that attachment is the root of all suffering. This stage is named hard to conquer, because not even all the Maras combined could mislead the Buddha. On directly facing, he abides in the mind of meditative equipoise, and turns to the attributes of perfect Buddhahood. This Bodhisattva, who sees the truth of dependent origination, attains true cessation by dwelling in wisdom. At this stage, the Bodhisattva excels in Prajñā. He realizes the truth of dependent origination, that all things lack a fixed self-nature and arise in relation to others. By dissolving their concentrated mind into emptiness, they extinguish afflictions and suffering. Hereon, gone afar, the Bodhisattva will enter cessation instantly and within a single moment. He attains as well blazing perfection of skillful means. At this stage, the Bodhisattva excels in skillful means. This is the means of reaching the truth through the most suitable means. By practicing both skillful means and Prajñā, they can moment by moment dissolve their mind into the state of emptiness. To attain again and again virtues superior to the earlier ones, the great being will enter the immovable, and thereby attain the state of irreversibility. His aspirations become perfectly refined, and he'll be roused by the Buddhas from his cessation. At this stage, the Bodhisattva's mind is always dissolved into emptiness, and their mind cannot be moved from that state. As a result, all mental afflictions are exhausted. On the ninth, the Bodhisattva's power becomes perfectly refined, and he attains the spotless qualities of four kinds of perfect knowledge. At this stage, all the abilities of the Bodhisattva become completely pure. Their wisdom and the power to preach the Dharma at will are also perfectly clear without a trace of impurity. On the 10th ground, he will receive supreme empowerment from all the Buddhas, and his superior gnosis will reach here its perfection as well. As a heavy downpour descends from water-laden clouds, so from him the Dharma rain will fall freely to water the crop of being's virtues. At this stage, the Bodhisattva receives supreme empowerment from all the Buddhas. In order to cultivate the good in all sentient beings, they will pour down compassion and wisdom, just as a rain cloud pours down rain. through the practice of the Six Paramitas. The mind of the Bodhisattva approaches truth and is transformed. The Ten Bhumis serve as a guide for the Bodhisattva on their path to Nirvana.